Hi guys, it's Jess, and today, Tuesday, I'm going to introduce something new to my channel. I've decided that I'm going to start doing the top 10 list from the Broke and Bookish vlog, and I'm going to leave a link to them down below. I just thought it would be fun to do some new things with my channel this year. As I've mentioned in my earlier video, I do want to do things that are more interactive and create some diversity on my channel. It's mostly hauls and reviews and all of that kind of thing. So I thought it would be fun to do some new things, and I've also sort of created a schedule for myself so that during the week I have certain things that I do, and I hope that you guys enjoy the changes. So yeah, Tuesday is going to be Top 10 Tuesday, and the list for this week is: what top 10 books would you save if your house was abducted by aliens or some other disaster struck? And it's a hard question because, of course, there are so many books that I have and so many books that I would want to save, and it kills me to think that all of this could be washed away, but I did come up with 10 books, so let me share them with you now. So I did sort of look at this methodically. The first thing I thought is, okay, what books are irreplaceable? You know, ones that are important, that would be hard to find, that you just could not just go to the bookstore and grab again. The first book I chose was The Runaway Bunny by Margaret Wise Brown. And I picked this book because this is the original book from my childhood. My mom read this book to me many times, and I would say that for a while this was like an every night kind of read. And it's particularly special because, of course, it's all about a young bunny who is talking to his mom about what would happen if he ran away. And, of course, the mom is saying, no matter where you go, I'm going to find you and bring you back home. And so, of course, it has a special meaning for a child and a mom. And so anyway, I wouldn't want to be without this one, and I love it that this is the one, you know, the very copy that we used to read all the time. So that's book number one. The second book is The Cozy Book by Mary Ann Hoberman. And this is the same type of sentimental book. This is actually a family book, and I've been read to from this book from many different members of my family. My grandmother has read this book aloud to me, my mom, my aunt, my cousins have all been read to from this book. This was actually a book that I made sure that I grabbed when both my grandparents passed away. I wanted this to be in my collection because it's just such an important book to the family, and it's really, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a really fun book with sort of rhyming and really cool pictures and all of that kind of stuff. And so yeah, this is a special one to my family. The third book is The Wolves of Willoughby Chase by Joan Aiken, and this is a book that has shown up in my oldest books video, which I'll leave a link to below. This book is from 1963, and it was a gift from my grandfather to my mom. You can see the inscription right there. And I love this story anyway, and I really love it that this is something that once belonged to my mom as a child and is now mine. So this would be hard to replace. The next book, the fourth book, is To All My Fans with Love from Sylvie by Conford. This is not a sentimental book in my family at all, but this is a book that I love. I actually first read this book. It was a book that I'd found in the library that was being given away in one of those library book sales when I was about, I don't know, 13 or so. And it's so funny because I read this book and I knew that the book sort of ended in a weird place, but I never realized that there were actually like 5 pages of the book that had been ripped out. And so I looked sort of high and low for another copy of this book, and as you can see, this is another library book that I found through a used book online site. And I finally, after owning a copy of this particular book, another copy, I finally got to read the rest of the story, and I think it's so funny that for the longest time I didn't even know what happened after a certain point. So anyway, this book is really hard to find now. It's, of course, out of print, and it's just really hard to track down. So this would be hard to replace. And this is just a really interesting story about a girl, a young teenage girl who goes off to become a big star. It's got some dramatic elements as well, and it's pretty mature for considering it's a YA book, especially the time in which it was written. So yeah, this is a really cool book. The next 3 books are no surprise to anybody who knows me. I would take the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. So that includes, of course, City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. This is the first series that I read as an adult, first YA series, and it's what I fell in love with and what sucked me into YA fiction, and I adore this series, so I would have to have this with me. And then finally, I would bring the Hunger Games trilogy with me. So, of course, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. This is, of course, an amazing series. And if you haven't read it yet, what are you waiting for? It's completely worth the hype. I picked these. I mean, you could buy these, but these are cool, like, box sets. And it would be hard to replace these because they're pretty box sets. So yeah, those are my 10 books. Of course, there are many others that I would save if I could, but in, a moment of rushing around trying to save actual fiction books, this is what I would choose. As you guys know, there are Christmas books from my mom that, of course, I would want to save all of those, but there are 32 of them, so it doesn't really fit within the rules of 10. So anyway, that is my top 10 list for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this new feature. Please leave me comments and let me know what you guys would take with you if your house was abducted by aliens, or do a video response, even better. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!